The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's a 17-year-old game filled with adventure, dungeons, monsters, and glitches. From going out of bounds to clipping through obstacles, let's find out how far we can go to break this game. Our adventure starts in Kokiri Forest, where Link just wakes up to go and meet the Deku Tree. But we have a different plan in mind. We are going to skip the entire Kokiri Forest. We start off with getting the sword, because we'll need it later in the game to perform certain glitches. Now we need to collect 40 rupees so that we can buy the shield. But we can use a little glitch here to make it a bit easier. Normally we'd go up the walkway to get the blue rupee, but we have a different way of doing things. Ah, that's a lot faster. Let us show how we did this.
By doing a jump slash at the highest point of the jump, Link will slightly clip through the bridge, tricking the game into thinking that he's supposed to stand on it and correct our position on top of the bridge.
Now we can collect the remaining money needed, which we can pick up along the way to the shop where we can buy the shield. And now it's time to get out of Kokiri Forest to continue our journey. Now normally you can't escape Kokiri Forest until you've cleared the Deku Tree Temple, but we can use a little glitch here to bypass this Kokiri.
If you crouch step the wall at a certain angle, you will push yourself into the guard, and if you talk to him at the right time, the game will stop you from moving completely, making you clip through him. If you now position yourself on a certain spot, the guard will stand on top of the slope of the exit, and it takes him enough time for you to just roll under him and pass him by.
The next step in our adventure brings us to Hyrule Field, but there's nothing to really do here, so let's go to Kakariko Village. But walking would take ages, so we used a trick to make it easier and faster. Ah, much better. But how did we do this?
Recalling off the wall gives a lot of speed. When hitting water, holding target and a certain position on the control stick while getting out of the water, you can maintain the momentum and keep sliding with the same speed. This keeps us in a busy state, making us skip the owl that is waiting for us in front of Kakariko.
After traversing Hyrule Field, we ended up in Kakariko Village, a small little village near Hyrule Castle. There are some really weird glitches that we can perform here, but before we do that, we need to get a bottle. We will need this later. So to get a bottle, we need to collect all the cuckoos in the village and put them back in their pen. And this may take a while, but luckily we can speed this up. Ah, much better. Now that we finally have the bottle, we can go to a very special place. A place where the dead and doomed roam. The bottom of the well. And who doesn't want to go to a cursed well filled with undead that can possibly kill you? But how do we get in the well? It's completely filled up with water. Now normally you need to learn the Song of Storms as an adult, and later in the game you will go back to your child form to drain the well using the song. But we do it like this. What? Let us explain how this works.
Text boxes and cutscenes completely disable all effects of elements that do not directly apply to the physics of the game, thus disabling water for as long as the text box is up, making us fall all the way down to the bottom, and this way we can easily enter bottom of the well.
Now that we're at the bottom of the well, we can finally do some really weird and strange things. Now to achieve our goal, we need to perform 2 glitches right after each other. The first one that we will perform is called the Infinite Sword Glitch.
A crouch stab keeps the sword active for a little longer than the action itself. Interrupting it at the very end stops the game from disabling the sword from swinging. This way, it's active every frame until we take damage or crouch again.
Now that we activated the Infinite Sword Glitch, we can go to the second part, and this breaks the game a little bit. For this we need to move a little bit back and wait for the green bubble.
Here I'm using the bubble to shield damage. One of the advantages of Infinite Sword Glitch is that if we shield damage while being in midair, we won't fall down. The part I'm at has an invisible hole right where I'm standing, which you should only see with the lens of truth. This hole, however, has a tiny slope. Now I'm holding towards the slope, which makes the game think that I'm on ground again, wants to drop me to the ground as I pull the ocarina. This means that physics are technically not applied to the game and the Link, making us just drop down without the slope affecting us in any way. This way I fall out of bounds and use a bit of the loaded water of the old room to float up. Clip out of bounds in the unloaded room I just swam into, and swim my way up to the Bombchu chest.
Now we got the Bombchus early, and this had no point, but who cares, it's cool! But Bombchus are probably one of the most broken items, especially as adult Link. But how do we get out? Alright, save game, turn off the console, turn it on again, boot up the save file again. There it is. We're back at the beginning of the bottom of the well. You know what? Screw that hero stuff. I want to be grown up before I start doing this. I have an idea. The Temple of Time. Here I will find my answers. But first, we need to get past this door. But luckily, we can get past this by using a glitch. Thiefbug, can you help me out here?
Sure, let me show you a little trick. Here, Nintendo left a tiny gap between the wall and the Door of Time. You can even see it if you stand to the left of the door and you see up. By doing a precise roll and side topping on the first possible frame, we bent the side top to go backwards, making us clip out of bounds so we can jump slash back into the Door of Time and side up our way to the Master Sword.
Awesome, now we can go to the adult era, and don't worry, there's more than enough to discover and break in that timeline. Let's go! There's going to be a part 2. There's... Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. This video I did with a friend of mine, Thiefbug. Introduce yourself, man.
If you like games being torn apart, feel free to join my channel on http://twitch.tv/thiefbug. I'm here playing a few games, like Donkey Kong 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Mirror's Edge, and maybe some more games. Freaking hell, I have no idea.